Hi, this video is meant to serve as a demonstration of the capabilities of the Apex Docker container feature. Um, this is an Apex controller. From the home screen, one can go to the container screen, and in here you will have Docker Hub. If you have a Docker Hub login, then you should be able to just download images directly from Docker Hub. But if you wanted to make your own container image, like we did here today, you'd need potentially your own registry where you can push your image to, and then you would need to have credentials for that registry, as you see here. So once you have that, um, you should be able to push your custom image up to the container, copy it, and add the image here, just as you see. So that happened because that image is already here. But once you have your image, the next thing would be to create the container. Now, in order to fill this out, obviously here you just want to name your container, something like that. And in order to fill this out, I wrote a wiki, which can be accessible from here. I will post that link later. But essentially, the first portion of this document, it's a template on how to fill out that JSON in order to deploy the container with the correct configuration parameters. So let's go through the parameters real quick. Debug and trace are only required if we're trying to troubleshoot any errors that show up. So they can remain false during normal operation. Interval is in seconds and is how many seconds to wait before starting to pull data from a different Eclipse controller. Now, what this container does that we build here, it's a small prototype just to test out uh, the application, and it pulls data from a list of Eclipse controllers. It pulls trend data. It goes and finds any analog binaries and multi-state, and if they have trend data, it will pull them. And it will send them to an Atrius Building Insights gateway ID. So every 5 seconds, it will go and it'll grab one controller from this list and it'll pull data from it. It'll send it to Atrius. So the max pull and the max push is in case we want to pull a large amount of data, but we only want to push a certain amount. Right now, they're both set to the same because we can pull 10 records and send 10 records. But if we wanted to pull 1,000 records but only send them in 100 record batches to Atrius, then that's what this could be used for. User and password are the username and passwords for your Eclipse network, whether it be a radius or um, SSO password or just the same local password for all Eclipse. This is a list of controllers separated by white spaces. Um, Atrius Gateway ID. This doesn't have to be changed. This is the module that we're running, pulling trends. Client ID for authentication, secret ID for authentication, and this is just so that if the controller power cycles, once it restarts, the container restarts automatically. So with that, one could grab this, copy it, come here, do that, and save it, and now we would have it here, created. I'm going to delete it because the information in that configuration JSON uh, snippet was not correct, but I do already have a running container here. Once it's been created, the only thing we need to do is click Start. We can then click on the container, and if we want to see any logs that it generates, we can click on Logs. While it's thinking, oh, there it is. So here you can verify that you are receiving data from the controllers, what kind of data we're receiving. It's going to break up the data that it receives from the Eclipse controller into a handful of properties. First property is going to be the name. If it's an analog value, it'll have a unit property, and otherwise it'll just have the history collection array as a third or second property. It parses through it and then it sends it out. Once that's running up in Atrius, we can see our points to be connected and the points that we've already connected and how often they update trend data. So currently between my Apex and a second Apex running in a different location in the United States, we would be able to connect close to 1,400 points, out of which currently we've only really managed to connect 73. And here's where you can see how often they update. Um, I think the main issue now is to start looking into how to optimize um, scalability and uptime. So, but this is one of the many applications one could build from scratch, containerize the application, deploy it to the Apex container, and have it operate on premises and add just a infinite number of options or possibilities, right, to our sites. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.